Hello and welcome to this virtual information session for the Yoga Trek Nepal 2019. I've had so many inquiries and so many people interested to tell them a little bit more about what's going on. So we've created this little presentation which I hope helps. So let's get this presentation started. So the tour is scheduled from the 27th of January to the 6th of February. The idea is that we're going to spend the last day after our trek celebrating Losar, the traditional Tibetan New Year, with the local families in the region. So that's the timing there. So my name's Emily Iglesias. I'm a physiotherapist and a yoga teacher. I met Lacroix when I volunteered in Nepal as a physio. Lacroix is our in-country support person. He's a tour guide and he runs a bakery in the Langtang area. And he has put together the trekking itinerary with his knowledge of the region and what people like to see, where the best places are that we can really get to know the local community. Why trek with us? Because we will show you the real Nepal and the real people. We're going to immerse ourselves in the culture of the Langtang area. We're going to support the local community by just being there. That's going to provide employment and tourism and any profits. So 10% of each ticket, as well as any profits above essential expenses, are going to be donated back into the community. So it truly is a not-for-profit trek. And combining yoga and trekking is so powerful. I found myself doing it just intuitively when I was there. Of course, it is optional. So if you've got someone who really wants to come on the trek, but they're not sure about yoga, bring them along. They can try it if they like. If they don't, there's no pressure. So you will be supported by experienced people. And we're also going to cater for fast and slow walkers. So if you want to push yourself, you can go right ahead. We'll have someone there. If you want to take your time and you think you might need a bit of extra time, that's fine too. We'll have someone to support you. Why Nepal? Well, you can see some of the amazing pictures, and honestly, I took all of these, and I'm not a professional photographer and I don't have a special camera, but when you have scenery like this, it is so hard to take a bad photo. So we've got the Himalayas, a glacier there. In Nepal, anything that's not snow-capped all year round is considered a hill. So we had some wonderful conversations about comparing their little peaks to the highest peak in Australia. And like I said, the people are so hospitable, and it is their pleasure to host you and make your experience the best possible. At Langtang here, Langtang was one of the first national parks created in Nepal. It's a short drive, I say short, 7 to 8 hours, but considering this is Everest over there and most people have to fly into Everest, or Pokhara, which a lot of people fly into as well, it's relatively closest. It has a diversity of wildlife, flora and fauna. Also, being near the Tibetan border, the ancestry is Tibetan Buddhist, so you get a beautiful mix of that Buddhist Tibetan heritage to contrast the amazing Hindu culture that you'll find mainly in Kathmandu. Also, because it's less well known, it's not quite as famous, you don't have as much foot traffic, so there's less rubbish, there's beautiful people and less competition to share it. Also, when we trek, we're going to stay in tea house lodges, and typically the food you eat is mainly dal bhat, so rice and lentils. There are a couple other dishes available, but some people find by the time they've had a few days in a row, they're looking for something different. So this here is Lacroix's bakery, and Lacroix bakes fresh bread and chocolate cake. So he tells me that there's people who specifically trek the Langtang region to get his bread and chocolate cake. So it's a bit special. And it's got some lovely stories about how his bakery came to be. I'll let him tell you that later. So an example of itinerary is that basically we have 3 days in Kathmandu first, where we get to explore the beauty, the culture and the ancient sites of the city. And with some free time so you can wander around, there's also there is trekking companies in terms of equipment. So if you've lost, broken or forgotten anything, we can help fit you out with what you might need. And then we'll trek off to the trek. So, and just little things, just having the time to wander through, you see things like petrol stations like this and funny, quirky things. So you need time to explore. So then on day 4 to 11 is our Langtang Trek, which was put together by Lacroix. We'll take a jeep to Sharabensi. We'll stay there the night. Then our first day is a 6-hour hike, which is very up and down. So it is a challenging day that day. No, but got to get into it someday. And then Lama Hotel to Mundu, which is a smaller village, and that's where we get to meet and chat with the locals a little bit there. They don't tend to get as many people stopping there, so supporting them in their employment and their families is a great opportunity. Mundu to Kyanjin Gumba. That's a short day if you want it to be. You can do a short trek, then sit and read a book in the beautiful fresh air. Otherwise, there is a peak called Kyanjin Ri, which there's actually 2 little peaks that you can look out over the valley. There's beautiful sights and scenery, and that takes 4 hours to get up and down. So if you don't want to do it, you stay back down at the lodge, the tea house, and those who want to can go for the extra walk. Then Kyanjin Gumba to Lama Hotel, back down. Lama Hotel to Kyamjim, which is Lakpa's wife's village. And so we're going to split into homestay accommodation. There's about 15 to 20 families in that village. We will celebrate with the families and come together as a group, maybe for some singing and dancing and Tibetan tea to bring in the Tibetan New Year and celebrate our achievements of our trek. The next day we head back to Kathmandu, have a morning yoga session if you like, and a farewell. And you may use this to then create an onward journey for the rest of your time in Nepal. You might come home. And this picture here was a panoramic picture taken by Lacroix himself. So this is colder than when we'll be there. There won't be, I wouldn't expect to see snow, but it will still be colder. It'll be just before the busy season starts to kick in again, then we'll be there. So list of inclusions: 4 nights accommodation in 4 to 5 star hotels, transfers from the airport and to the trek, a meal, a welcome meal and farewell meal in Kathmandu, daily yoga classes, guided tours, and the trek, of course, which is all accommodation, all food, celebrations of Losar and trekking guides. With your luggage, what we're going to try and do is leave most of it. So if you want to do some shopping beforehand, we can do that, leave it in Kathmandu, then bring with you a day pack and a limit of about 12 kilos of extra things. And we can go through packing lists later. The idea is that we can have one porter carry gear for 2 people, providing them with employment and making it a little bit easier on us as well. And so about 12 kilos maximum each means that it's not overbearing for the porter. So you'll have to organise your own flights, travel insurance, meals, because you might want to do your own thing a few days, and visa and passport costs. Chat to Matt from iTalk Travel about those type of things. And like I mentioned before, 10% of each ticket goes toward the community. Anything above essential expenses will also be donated back. And we're trying to save the environment and not spend extra money. So that's why you won't find lots of glossy tour brochures and print ads and that kind of thing. If this trek isn't for you, but you know someone who does interest, then please do feel free to send the details on, send them this presentation, or get them in contact with me. So the price is $2,700 per person. Early bird price gets $200 off, plus a complimentary physiotherapy trekking tour package, tongue twister. The idea is that you get an initial consult and 3 follow-up visits, and you can use that at once or spread it out in the preparation for your trek, and that will go towards helping you prepare your body for what you need to get the trek done. And if you're going really well, you could use it for other regions of your life. If there's a niggle or an ache or pain, we'll get that sorted. So the next step, go to emilyiglesias.com.au to download all the relevant details, register your interest. You can send me an email if you'd like, and we can book in a time to speak, chat on the phone about more details. To book your place, a $500 non-refundable deposit can be made, and then you're in. So I really hope that you can join us in Nepal. It's going to be a great time, a great trek. Like, I was really excited about meeting you, and I am too. So I hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day.